All right, good afternoon. First of all, my thoughts and our thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Fortner and his family. I have taken the opportunity to speak with both his mother and his father. We pray steadfast for his family and their comfort and strength during this difficult time. Every loss of human life is tragic. It especially hits home and hits hard when your job is that of protecting and serving. As a Fulton County Sheriff, it is my responsibility to provide and to ensure the safety of our staff, our team members, Fulton County inmates, contractors, and visitors alike. While we're here to express our sadness and outrage over Mr. Fortner's succumbing to his injuries, we cannot ignore the hard truth. The Fulton County Jail is in crisis, and it has been in crisis for decades. Even before I took office, it's clear to anyone that has visited, anyone that has been incarcerated, and anyone that works here, the conditions of the jail have far outlived its life cycle and that they are dangerous. That's why in September of 2022, I reached out to the Board of Commissioners. I reached out to the DOJ as well as the Bureau of Justice Assistance and asked them for help. On multiple occasions, I've appeared before the Board of Commissioners to highlight the dangerous conditions that my team, jail contractors, and our detainees face every day. I do want to take an opportunity to thank the women and men of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. They come to work understanding and bravely taking on this fight every day. Our Fulton County Chaplaincy Service, who showed up when nobody else would last night and really took an opportunity to counsel and pray with not just those that were immediately impacted, but those that were impacted as the night continued. I want to thank the dedicated nurses and doctors that stood by minute to try and save Mr. Fortner's life. The lives here in the Fulton County Jail are real. This is not about politics. It's about the safety and security of the women and men that work here. It's about the safety and security of the detainees that work here. It's beyond time that the members of the BOC understand this and take note of the dangerous circumstances which I have been yelling from the rooftop since taking office in January 1st of 2021. It is time that we prioritize human lives. Let me be clear. I'm the Fulton County Sheriff, and as Sheriff, it is my responsibility to operate the Fulton County Jail. I humbly accepted this responsibility in January of 2021, along with many committed staff members who come and face this every day. The physical security of the building and maintenance of the building is under a different division, does not fall within the scope of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. However, we've been working hand in hand with the Board of Commissioners in some instances to focus on a jail bridging plan to get us into this new appointed space of understanding both that this is out of life cycle, our building, and at a point that the BOC has actually failed us. I'm honored to have our Board of Commissioners member Marvin Arrington with us because he has continued to lead the fight for the women and men of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, understanding the need, understanding the building is beyond its life cycle. But I was hurt a couple of weeks ago when the board voted to end double overtime for our team members. I was hurt a couple of weeks ago when the board voted to end recruitment sign-in bonuses. I was hurt a couple of weeks ago when the Board of Commissioners voted to turn down state-funded money, free money, to help improve the services that we can provide here at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. But as we await the outcome of this investigation, our prayers and thoughts continue to be with the Fortner family. Our prayers and thoughts continue to be with the women and men of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. And I ask the citizens of the Fulton County community that they continue this fight with us and that they understand that further loss of life is not only unacceptable, but our teamwork in making this happen, our teamwork with the Board of Commissioners, with the county administration, has to be prioritized, and we want to focus on saving lives. So with that, I'll ask our Commissioner Arrington to step up and share a few words, and certainly I do want to take an opportunity before I turn it over to Commissioner Arrington and thank the Atlanta Police Department. So we've asked for a third-party independent investigation. They came in immediately, Chief Sherbaum and his team, and they have done a fantastic job. So we've turned the investigation over to them. It is quite clear. Once the investigation is closed, many of you will get the necessary information to help really proceed moving forward in this court process of this perpetrator who committed this crime inside the Fulton County Jail.
Thank you, Sheriff Labatt. My name is Marvin Arrington, Jr., Fulton County Commissioner for District 5, and certainly I want to echo the fact that our thoughts and prayers are with the Fortner family. Certainly this is a tragic time, and you know, again, our thoughts and prayers are with the family, but we've got to do better as a county. We've got to do much better, because turning down state grant money to help the resources, this is not just a problem at the Fulton County Jail. There is a problem in all jails and all prisons around the country. People don't necessarily want to come work at the jail. So you have to pay them extra, you have to give them incentives. Cutting back double overtime, not allowing for sign-on bonuses, turning down free state grant money is what the commission has done. This makes no sense. I think they've done it for political reasons. And look at what we have now as a result. Now, maybe we would still have this death if they had approved the state grant money. Maybe we would still have this death if they had approved the overtime. We don't know, but we have to support our sheriff. We have to make sure that he has the resources that are necessary for him to do his job. And we as a county have failed to do that. In fact, we have been punitive towards our sheriff, cutting back money at every turn, taking steps to try to embarrass him at county meetings. We have to work together as a team to help save lives. And we have failed because we are not doing that, and because people want to try to target the sheriff because they have another candidate for sheriff. And that is a crime, a pity, and a shame. Thank you.
So before we take any questions, let me give you a few facts. Approximately 6:24 on yesterday evening, Mr. Fortner was attacked by Edward Cherry. He was stabbed multiple times. It is certainly under investigation, but he, unfortunately, Mr. Fortner succumbed to his injuries. What you see before you is a piece of the Fulton County Jail that was fashioned. It is one thing for us to keep contraband out. It is another thing for thousands and thousands of homemade knives, shanks, to be created and fashioned from the building. So with that, I'll take 2 or 3 questions.
Sheriff, the DOJ investigation was very on the psychiatric side of this, those patients with mental illness. Is that a place to start? Is that something that maybe can be outsourced if you don't have the means to do it here in the jail?
So we are exploring all options when it comes to mental health. We're working really hard with Grady Hospital, working with our medical provider. It is something undoubtedly we have to focus on. And I remind people, when we took office as an administration, we had 3,700 people sleeping, and 600 of them sleeping on the floor. Today we have 2,800 individuals, and none of them sleeping on the floor. We had to do an audit that showed that thousands of doors themselves were inoperable. Not only locks, that the county prior to our administration spent $5 million on, locks not working, toilets not working. That's something that we as a sheriff's office shouldn't have to do. But focusing on mental health is something we absolutely have to put in the front of the conversation. And with that, one of the things that has been unfunded, if you will, shortly after several tragedies, we started an initiative that would, on our mental health floor, led by Captain Cherry, every 2 weeks we did clinical cleaning. It was funded initially by the Board of Commissioners and unfunded in this particular budget cycle. And so those things matter. We have to take care of our mental health population.
Sheriff, you mentioned the struggle to get employees. Tell me how many people were on staff yesterday and how many people today for this incident happened?
Well, specifically, there was one officer roaming the floor and a tower officer in place. That is something we work with the Board of Commissioners on to get a third-party contractor in here, train them, and put them on duty. So we were literally minutes away from the actual attack on into reactive mode and taking care of the situation. I applaud the deputy that was there, donned a pair of gloves, and really started handling the situation. So from that perspective, we were staffed properly. Could we do a better job? Absolutely, as we continue to hire and retain individuals. Over the last 3 years, we have hired 750 individuals, but we have to do a better job, as Commissioner Arrington said, in paying people what they're worth and retaining those individuals.
Sheriff, a source told us that before APD arrived to handle the investigation, as you mentioned, that the scene where this violence broke out, that it was cleaned up. Is there any truth to that, or was it left as is for the responding APD to process?
Well, in the midst of chaos, originally, there was some cleaning that took place, but all of that is still under investigation.
There's some concern that this gentleman who committed, Mr. Cherry, committed this crime, had already either attacked or killed another inmate. Is that true? Can we verify that?
We're still investigating that
We'll
piece.
take the last question.
How many other inmates were in the area when that happened?
No one was sleeping on the floor. They immediately went to their room.
Other inmates in the area?
Only 20, yes. Roughly 20 in and out the facility.
What's your communication like with the DOJ, and do you have any indication of where that investigation stands?
I do not. You'd have to reach out to them, and ultimately we are and have been very, very aggressive about making sure they get whatever they need. All right? Thank you all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What part of the building is that?
We're looking